protection. We've all been told to death now, haven't we, about protecting ourselves? But the message that we've been sticking through the television on media for the last 9 or 18 months, feels like, has been to do with mask wearing, to do with washing your hands, to do with not going anywhere near anybody. And that's only to do with the physical, really. And this type of protection I'm talking about is kind of like a psychic protection. And it's also your energy protection. And that is so, so, so important, because your aura itself goes out about, can go out 6-12 feet. So if you are going out and about, I mean, I know that technically speaking, we're meant to be keeping 6 feet away from each other anyway, but if you're going shopping and you're going near people and your energy field is quite wide and you're a very loving and giving and open person, your energy field is going to merge with other people's, and you can be merging with other negative energies. So you can, if you go shopping, imagine you just sucking and drawing your energy in a little bit and bringing it in. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a meditation of different ways in which you can protect. Now, the reason that the passcode was Michael is because Archangel Michael is a really good one for protection, and the meditation that we're going to do at the very end, Shavasana, is going to be for Michael. And Archangel Michael holds his sword, and it's a sword of blazing blue light. And you can imagine actually that you're cutting the cords from other people with Michael's sword, and he is from the south, so you can actually imagine the archangels around you, because there are 4 archangels that you can actually imagine are in the different the 4 corners, the 4 quarters, which of course are north, south, east and west. And because you do begin in the east is actually where Raphael traditionally is, Archangel Raphael, and he is the healing one. So I'll tell you a little bit more about them as we're going on. Michael is the south with his flaming sword. Then Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, he is in the west, and yes, I'm pointing to where my east, south and west and north. And then in the north is Uriel, and Uriel is an archangel that inspires. So you can imagine these archangels are around you to protect you when you're going out and about, but there'll be a lot more that I'll tell you about in different ways that you can protect yourself from other people's energies. And as we all know now, energetic negative energies getting in or around you can cause your body physical ailments. This is proven now. We know that the chakras work alongside the glands in the body. The heart works with the thymus gland, that of course helps to keep you healthy. So it is essential to be aware of your energy. My brother used to say to me, Rachel, your dad, he used to say to me that people are either drains or radiators, and you will know if somebody's sucking the life out of you. You will know that, or you will know if somebody gives you that energy. So if you feel as if somebody's drawing your energy off you, protect yourself. Don't let them do it. And if you have to be in their vicinity, if you have to work with them, you have to be near them, protect yourself. So you at least know they're not getting they might take your time, but they can't get your energy. So bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Sorry about all of that, a bit of a waffle there. And what we're going to do is we're going to begin with just a seated meditation that's going to allow us to start to create a barrier around us. Now we are going to do this, we'll move a little bit further back so you can see my arms a little bit better. So we're going to bring the hands up, and we're just literally going to sweep the arms around right the way down to the floor. Bring the hands back up. So bring the hands into a prayer position. Relax into the shoulders, and all I want you to do is, as you breathe in, breathe the arms right the way up, and of course as you reach the top of the inhalation, then the hands are going to open and you're just going to sweep the arms around. If you can reach the floor, that's great. Then bring them together, pause for a second, so that'll be the end of the breath, and then you're going to begin to breathe in again. So as you breathe in, you're imagining that you're drawing this white light And exhale, sweep it round. So it's like you are protecting yourself with this big circle around. Notice the fingertips come down towards the feet. I want you to imagine that you're actually drawing that white light, the white energy up through the feet. It's coming up through the legs, up through the sushumna, the main energy channel, and up through the top of the head. And then as it comes up through the top of the head, you're going to waterfall it out of the top of the head and back down around the body, coming back up through the feet. If it feels a bit weird thinking through the feet, just imagine it's coming up through the base chakra instead. So breathing in, top of the exhalation, as you exhale, waterfall it all back out again. So you're creating this barrier around you of white light. So it comes up through the legs, through the feet, and exhales out through the top of the head. So it's literally, if you can imagine in your mind's eye, it's coming up through the center of the body and it cascades out of the top of the head. And with the tips of the fingertips, that's where you're reaching out as far as you can. So that cascade where the fingertips are, or where your protection is going to be. So you really reach that up with the fingertips, bring that right the way around the body. So you've created that cocoon around you. Maybe you want to add a pause to the top of the breath, so you can imagine yourself cascading that, spraying that white light out and around your body, and then allowing it to be drawn back in through the feet or through the Muladhara, through the root chakra, if that feels more natural for you, especially if you're not sitting in a cross-legged position. It might be more difficult to visualize. Cascading it out, just allowing yourself. Cannot begin to tell you how important it is to create a protection. I'm going to share a few little things that I do. I do kneel every single night now, and I have written a charm for myself that protects me at night. If you want the full charm, I will send it to you. I'm going to tell you the middle verse of the 3 verses to it. Cascading that out. So just do that 1 or 2 more times. So you just get that feel for how there's different ways in which we can do this. Last one. Exhale, cascading that light back out and around the body. And then just for a moment, bring the hands back into a prayer position. I think it's really, really important. Allow yourself to drop your head. Is that if you are going to protect yourself in any way, whatever means by which you do that, I'm going to suggest different ways in which you can do that, that you do give thanks for whatever it is that you believe in. Maybe you have a God, maybe it's archangels, maybe it's the earth, maybe it's Gaia, maybe it is just yourself, your inner wisdom, your inner spirit, your own logic that you want to thank. And when you're ready, begin to open up the eyes, wriggle into things, and the legs a bit of a stretch. So I always, when I go back to teaching yoga, I do sometimes mention God, so to speak, but I'm not religion. But that is because everybody's got their own version. But even if you don't believe in anything, if you're doing yoga, there must be some sort of thing that you feel connected to, whether it's your inner wisdom and your inner self. It doesn't really matter. You still have a sense of something that means something to you. So when you're ready, begin to lie down. I want you to walk your feet towards the sides of the mat. So I'm going to start with a banana asana. So relax the head, relax the shoulders, and you're going to begin to interlace the fingers behind the head. Now, if you are not good with the elbows dropping out like this, remember you can do this with the hands on the belly. You don't have to do it with the hands underneath the head. So gently, keeping your bum completely still and in the middle of the mat, shuffle head and shoulders over towards the right, sliding the left elbow so it's pointing towards the top of the mat, and taking that left leg over towards the right ankle. Now, the moment you've got that stretch down the left-hand side of the body, if that's as far as the body's allowing you to go, stay here with the feet, or cross the right ankle over the left, or if you want to go further, left ankle over right. Both legs stay straight, even though the ankles are crossed. So the legs don't bend to cross the ankles, the legs do stay straight. And then just allow yourself to be still there. So when you are around people who have a negative energy about them, and that might not be for any fault of their own, they could be going through some horrendous traumatic experiences that you know absolutely nothing about in their lifetimes. So you can't think, oh God, that person's negative, I can't stand them, I can't go near them, because that's not being compassionate and empathetic, is it? You can still have empathy and compassion for people and protect yourself at the same time, which is what I do. I did a protection last night for myself, which means that I am now, for me, I'm protected now for the next 24 hours or so until I do it again tonight. And I do every night. So just be aware that it doesn't make you a horrible person if you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your own energy is what you're doing in order to be able to give that energy out. So when you protect yourself, you're imagining that you're only allowing the good stuff in. You're making a barrier against the negative stuff, but you can let the good stuff in. And you, differently though, can let the bad stuff out as well as the good stuff. So if you've got any kind of bad energy, you can allow that to go back out of the barrier that you create, but you don't let anything negative come in. Whereas the good can come. The good's got a free pass. The good's got a COVID pass. It can get in and out. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Okay, the good stuff's got a free pass. So negative energies do affect your aura, and they do affect your chakras. There is no getting around that. That is actually proven now, and it can manifest itself into something physical. So hence why we protect. So just take a few moments here. Allow yourself just to be still. And maybe you can even identify situations or places, of course. And I'm not going to deny it, people that give you that feeling. I know, sadly, quite a few people that give me that. And so I either avoid them like the plague, which doesn't sound very nice, or I find a way to deal with that. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, gently bring yourself back to the center and begin to slide the left foot over. And again, just recenter, make sure that you're back in the middle of the field mat. You're going to start to shuffle head and shoulders over towards the left-hand side of the mat again. And then when you're ready, slide that right foot over. Check how that feels. Check the shoulders are okay. Rotate the cuffs are okay. It's not too much on the elbows. If it is, hands on the belly instead. Again, cross ankles, whichever way feels best for you. If you want to cross the ankles, you don't have to. Just allow yourself there to take gentle breaths. So auras themselves, because they go out such a distance, and we've probably all experienced a time when we've walked into a room or walked into a house, and you can tell straight away that there's either a bad vibe there, or there's just been an argument, or that it's a really happy place. You can really tell that. And when I had a breakdown going back 10 years ago, 10 years ago, my husband and I split up, and it was really ex-husband, it was a really bad time. And basically a friend had come around to my house, and she said to me, the love has been sucked out of this house. And even though the heating was on, she said it was stone cold. And at that point I stopped and I realized that yes, it was literally the love, the joy, the happiness, everything that was a good positive energy had been taken from the house with the situation. And I then spent weeks trying to bring that love, even though I didn't particularly feel it myself, I was bringing it back in for my children. So it is really, be aware that your own energy and how you feel and what you're bringing in from the outside into your house can even affect the space in which you live. So if you've got a difficult job and you feel that you're mentally and emotionally, spiritually being battered every day at work, you are probably going to bring that into the house. So maybe when you're protecting yourself, maybe you can use the same techniques to protect the house as well. You can sage the house, you can go around with you can clap in the corners of the house, you can use Palo Santo, which is a really good one. You can get incense sticks, Palo Santo. You can set intentions. You can even use crystals, which I'll explain a little bit later about crystals, and put them in different places of the house. The most important thing is the intention that goes with that, because it's the intention that gives it its power. So if you put something out, or if you put something near your door, if you say, I protect the door, it's going to do nothing unless your intention was with that. Unless if you believe that that's what you're doing, that's what you're going to project out, and that's what's going to help to protect. If you don't intend it, if it's not a truth in your own mind with that intention, it ain't going to work. It has to come from the heart. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. Gently ease yourself back to the center. And I just want you to start to bring those feet onto the floor. Lift your bum up, soften your butt into the back, into the floor. And I just want you to draw the knees in, hug the knees in, bring the tip of the nose up towards the knees, and just a gentle rock from side to side. Now we're going to come into a supine twist. If you need a block for this, or if you've got a cushion or anything, you can use it. So bring the soles of the feet down, bring your hands either side. I just want you to lift your bum up, and you're going to shuffle your bum over towards the right, but not your shoulders. From there, walk your toes in a little bit closer towards your bum, and then let the knees drop down. You may need, if they don't go all the way down to the ground without taking that right shoulder with it, support the knees with something before they hit the ground. Maybe the feet will stay together, maybe they'll slide apart. Find what feels right for you. Bring the thighs closer to the body if that is what you want to do. Left hand can go, if you wish, onto the outside of that right thigh. And whatever feels right for this right arm, maybe it wants to extend out for the right. Any problems with shoulder rotated cuff, that might feel too much for you. Maybe you want to cradle the head with the arm so it comes around the head, or maybe you just want to rest that hand on the waist. So find, because these are gentle poses, these are yin poses that you're in, so do make sure that that feels right. Then again, closing the eyes down and allowing yourself to find those moments of stillness. So if you do want to protect yourself, there are different ways in which you can do this. One of the easiest and simplest ways to do it is to actually ask. If you have a faith, if you have a belief, you could, of course, ask God to protect you. If you believe in angels, which is my uncle was a massive believer in angels, as am I. You don't have to be religious to believe in angels at all. Maybe you want to ask the angels, hence why Michael was the passcode. Maybe you want to ask a spirit. Maybe you believe in some sort of spirit or what do you call it, member of the family or friend who's passed over, and you can imagine that you're asking them to guide you or to protect you. But also you can ask the elements. Now the elements are fire, water, earth, spirit, and good Lord, what's the other one? Fire, water. I'm going to do it this way. So air, air, fire, water, earth, and then spirit, which is above. So the 5 main elements, you can ask those for protection. Of course, I've said it before, that the air, you imagine air is in the east, you imagine fire is in the south, you imagine that water is in the west, which is an easy one to remember, and then you imagine that the earth is in the north, and then you imagine that the spirit is above, and that's above you. So you can ask the elements, so you can draw the elements and ask the elements to protect you. You can even give symbols to the elements. Air could be a dove, it could be a storm, it could be a feather, you know, so you can use your imagination and whatever you are drawn to regards the elements. And it's an easy one to do, isn't it? And asking the power of the elements to come in. You could ask for the winds from the east. You can ask volcanoes from the south. So you can start using your imagination with that, because each of the elements obviously has some sort of power that comes with it. And if you think of something that's powerful with fire, you could think of something that's powerful for water, a waterfall, which we're using. You could even, so earth, maybe crystals or rocks, anything that you think that comes from the earth that's very, very strong. So you can bring those elements in yourself and ask those to protect you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Slowly ease yourself back to the center. Bring the soles of the feet back on. Just recenter the hips. And because we are in these for a couple of minutes, you are going to feel each of these poses. Just bring the knees in for a moment. Just a few circles with those knees before we come on to the other side. So bring the soles of the feet back down again, hands either side of the hips. Lift your bum. And you just slide your bum over towards the left again. So again, walk the toes in till you feel as if you've got that as twist as far as you want to take it. Take the knees over. Maybe this side doesn't like it. Maybe this side doesn't want to go as far. So remember, you're not symmetrical. You're not going to be the same on both sides. So adjust, straightening the legs, taking the knees further away from the body makes the twist easier. Bringing them further in takes it a lot deeper in towards this hip. So do be aware and into the waist. Again, what do you want to do with that arm? Do you want to cradle it? Do you want to put it on the belly? Do you want to extend it out? Find what feels right. Right hand can hold on to that left thigh if that feels okay, or they can both rest on the belly. So do find what feels right for you there. So I thought it would be nice if I, while we're in the other side, if I just share one of the poems. I call it a prayer, but it's one of the poems that I wrote for nighttime to protect yourself. And if any of you want it, I'll send it to you so you've got it yourself. So this is asking the Archangels. I gently close my eyes to sleep and call Archangels here. Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, pray draw near. I ask you gather round my bed and stay with me tonight to guide my thoughts to peaceful dreams until the morning light. I call from the east, Raphael, Caduceus you hold. Pray send your healing presence and emerald light behold. I call on Michael from the south, bright light of royal blue. Protect me with your sword and shield so I may wake anew. I call from the west, Gabriel, God's messenger on earth. Pray shower me in brilliant white that I may shine my worth. I call from the north, Uriel, Archangel to inspire. May wisdom touch my soul in dreams through your red ruby fire. Archangels four, who at my side will guard my sleep tonight, so I may wake from slumber blessed to welcome dawn's new light. So if you do call on the archangels, each of the archangels, those 4 that you would call from the quarters, the elements, they have a symbol. Michael, sword and shield, he protects you. Uriel, he's from the north. He's the archangel that inspires, and he has this red ruby fire around him. Then you've got Raphael. He holds a caduceus, and the caduceus is like the symbol of the doctor. It's a like a wand with 2 snakes wrapping around it, and you will see that. I think the World Health Organization, their symbol is a caduceus, so you'll see what a caduceus is. And then of course we have Gabriel, and Gabriel is from the west, and he is about the water, and he can shower you. So he's got this brilliant white light, so you can imagine the water washing over you and protecting you, maybe washing away anything that's negative. So you can call on Gabriel to wash you and wash any negative away from you by creating this shower that comes over the body. So again, gentle breaths with body. And take deep breath in. Then exhale, gently ease your way back to the center. Just re-center the hips for a moment. I just want you to bring those knees in and just coming into a few circles with your knees. So we are going to just come into a bit of a quick happy baby here. We're not going to be here too long. We're just going to do this bit of a mini happy baby. So bring the hands to the inside of the knees, and you can just come into a rocking here if you want. You can even do it with the soles of the feet on the floor and rock the feet from knees from side to side here. If you're okay with happy baby, grab those feet, hold the ceiling up, and just a gentle rock from side to side. Remember that if you're not good with happy baby and your head is right the way up, you need to support that head or bring the heels further back down, or just hold on to the knees. You need the head on the floor. That is really, really important. So the easiest way, of course, to protect is the As. And then we can move on. You can actually create a shield around you, a little bit like we did at the beginning. You can create your own shield. You can imagine that you have cocooned yourself with a light. And this can be any color light that you want. The colors can mean different things, but often the colors will correspond to the chakras. If you want a light that's going to protect your ego or protect your fire and your own drive, then maybe you want to imagine a yellow light. A gold light will bring in angels. A white light, of course, is more of a general crown chakra. It's more of a general protection. A blue one, blue is very good. That's the one that I used to imagine all of the time, was a blue protection light. That goes again back to Archangel Michael. Now I want you to straighten the legs now. So let go of the feet. I just want you to bring your feet into a waterfall position. And what I want you to do at the moment, you can see the bloody thing on me, the elastic's gone on my trousers again. I'm trying to make it stay up, but it won't. So I want you, just for a moment, if you can, extend the arms out, bend the knees if you need to, but I want you to bring the soles of the feet so they are facing towards the sky. And just close your eyes down a moment. You can, if you can, straighten the legs. You can do this, of course, at night time. You could also, it's really good to allow the legs to rest. But I want you to imagine that you've got a white light, and that white light is like a waterfall. It's pouring through the legs. It's draining any stagnant energy that may have collected, because of course energy can fall down. So if you've brought energy in, it may find its way down to your feet, to your legs, and making your legs and your feet feel heavy, especially after a long day. So you can imagine this white light from the soles of the feet pouring down the body, and draining through the body, through the back of the head, through the weight of the arms, through the hips, and it's just pouring through the body and then being released into the earth. But as that water, maybe you want to imagine it's coming from Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, you can imagine that white, beautiful shower of white light is pouring through the body and releasing anything that you may have picked up during the day. And slowly begin to bring those knees in. Again, a little bit of a hug those knees in, bring the tip of the nose up. Just wake ourselves up before we come back up into a seated position. Begin to roll over onto the side, and you're going to bring yourself up. And I want you now just to give those legs a little bit of a shake. So we did do some yin poses. Now we're moving into, after we've done our straddle, we are going to move into a few poses. We're going to be a little bit more active, so we will have to do more of a warm-up in a moment. But I want you now just to bring yourself, so straighten into the legs to start off with, and adjust yourself so you have a bit of a shuffle forwards until you feel as if the legs are nice and straight. Now, not all of us can fold forwards easily here. If you've got any issues in the back, please, soles of the feet are going to come onto the floor. So take a deep breath in, and you're just going to allow yourself now to fold forwards. If you want, hold on to the big toes with your yogi grip, which is the middle finger and the index finger. I've got socks on, so I can't do that. And again, maybe bit by bit, you feel as if you can straighten the legs out a little bit. But just allow the whole of the body just to fold forwards. Let the shoulders relax. Let the head just soften and relax down. If you are quite high, you can put a bolster or something underneath, because that can allow you to support. If you can't reach the feet, rest the hands gently onto the shins or even onto the knees if you're higher. And then close the eyes down. So find what feels right for you there into your caterpillar. So these different, if you imagine these cocoons around you, one of the very first aura photographs I had taken of me has a perfect blue circle surrounding me. And the woman actually said to me that I had learnt how to protect myself, keeping in mind that this is after I'd had my breakdown and I'd been doing yoga for a couple of months. So I literally, spiritually, and unintentionally, I might add, I didn't even know I'd done it, I had created, and the aura photograph actually showed this blue light, like a barrier surrounding my aura that was protecting me from anything negative from getting in, while I healed myself within that light. And I had 2 more aura photographs taken over the next 2 or 3 years in different parts of the country. And each of those photographs had the same blue light. So I kept that light for quite a while. And of course, I must have let it down at some point because I ended up with cancer. So I did let go of it at some point, and that is my own fault. I forgot that protecting myself was something important to do. And sadly, I did get myself into a situation before the cancer where I was in an exceptionally negative space all of the time. The way I was living was like living or walking on knives. And that is why I ended up ill, because it got in, it manifested itself, and it made me ill. So this is why it's so important to protect yourself, because I'm not saying you're going to get cancer. Obviously, what I'm saying is it can make you ill. It can give you a cold. It can bring on stress. We know stress can cause physical problems. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly begin to release. Mine was obviously an extreme version, but I ended up with cancer. Might have fucking known I'd end up with something like that. So begin to bring the hands behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and just give yourself a moment there. You're going to come back into a neutral position. I want you to start to bring this right foot in. So we're going to do it, not quite a warm-up, but it's more of a movement thing we're going to come up into here. I want you to begin to bring that right foot over towards the left hip. And if you can, you're going to let that right knee drop on top of the left. If you find that really difficult, just cross it gently and bring the right foot over towards the left ankle. You don't have to bring that all the way around. Once you are here, bring fingertips either the side. And I want you to bring the left hand down towards that right foot. And you're going to reach the right arm up and over. Now slowly bring yourself back and take that into a twist. So I'm going to take that just into a bit of a mini flow. So reaching over, breathe back into a neutral position and exhale to twist. Breathe back to neutral and exhale to twist into that gentle lateral stretch. So breathing in back to neutral and exhale, left hand to the right knee. Exhale as you twist. So come back, left hand down to the floor, right arm up and over the head. Reach over to the left, breathe back to the center and exhale to twist. And we're going to pause here now. We're just going to take that into a gentle seated twist. With each breath lifting, with each exhalation, just that gentle twist into the body. Keeping the chin so it's parallel with the floor. So there are different lights, colours that you can use. Green is a very healing colour. So maybe you've been feeling ill. Maybe you want to protect yourself with a green protective aura. So that's going to heal and protect you within at the same time as protecting you from anything else. A lead colour, so or should I say a lead, imagining a lead cocoon around you, that can prevent toxicity getting in. Sadly, because it's lead, it's going to stop anything getting in, really, isn't it? It's going to stop anything getting in or getting out. So it's not going to allow any kind of positive things in. So lead is a really strong one to use if you feel as if you're in some sort of toxic situation. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale, just a gentle twist in the opposite direction to ease that. And then when you're ready, come back to the center and give the legs a little bit of a shake. I tend to use a white light or a purple light, which of course is to do with psychic, to do with the third eye. So again, cross that left foot over towards the right hip if it will reach, or down towards the left ankle. Take it to where it feels right for you. And then again, hands out to the sides. Fingertips are going to go down towards that left foot that's on the right side. You're going to breathe in as you lift that arm over and exhale, coming into a gentle stretch. Breathe back to the center. Exhale, coming into that twist. Breathe back to neutral. The arm raises. Exhale back into your lateral stretch. Breathe in and exhale to the twist. Breathe back to center as the arm raises. Exhale over towards the right. Breathe back to the center. Exhale to twist. Breathe back to the center, hand down. Exhale to twist, to release. Breathe back to the center. I'm going to stop at the twist and exhale again to twist the right hand, left knee. Let the shoulders relax and just take that there into that gentle cow face twist, or shoelace legs they call it. So one of the other ways in which you can actually imagine that you've got a mirror around you, and that's with the mirror facing out, obviously a bit like a two-way mirror, and you can see out from the outside, but nothing can see in. And in fact, that mirror bounces any darkness back off it. So it's like a bright light that you are within that mirror, and if any darkness comes to that mirror, it's just going to bounce straight back off again. It's not going to get you at all. Now, if you do use a cocoon, if you use a protective shield around you, it does need to be done regularly. I intend that mine lasts 24 hours, but then I do a bit of a mini protection when I leave the house, if I have to leave the house and go shopping or anything. And I do set an intention before I walk into the store. I wear a lanyard around my neck because I'm not good with masks. So that's another way of me protecting myself. That lanyard has also become a symbol of protection to me. So you can use things, and then we come to our next way of protecting ourselves. It's a funny thing, from the lanyard to move from a type of protection into where we're going next. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. Ease yourself back to the center and just let those legs, give the legs a little bit of a. So I want you now to begin to bring this left foot in towards the center of the legs. And you're going to bring the right foot down. So one of the ways in which you can protect yourself is to ask for protection from Gaia, from the earth, from Mother Nature. You're going to bring your right hand to the inside of that right foot and place the hand down, so you're actually connecting now with the earth. Left hand is going to go onto the heart, and just take a deep breath in there, coming into earth witness. And exhale. What I want you to imagine that you're doing now in this position, I want you to imagine that you're sending roots out from the body, from the soles of the feet, from the legs, from the base of the spine, even coming from the shoulders and going down around the body, through the hand. And it's those roots are growing and taking you down into the earth. I want you to imagine they're passing through any underwater, those big caverns and those big pools. I want you to imagine that your roots have gone right the way down. They've found crystals in the earth. And I want you to imagine that you're wrapping those roots around the crystal. And that crystal that you've just wrapped those roots around, that crystal is going to help to protect you and keep you grounded and keep you safe. And you can use different crystals. And of course, the crystals belong to Mother Earth. They belong to Gaia. So you're asking her to protect you. Use her strength to protect you. But of course, crystals can be used in different ways. You can wear crystal necklaces, bracelets, rings. You can carry crystals in your pocket. You can put crystals on your windowsills in the house. You can even hang them at the windows. You can hang them at the door. There's so much that you can do with crystals. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly begin to release. Just let the legs go and give those legs a little bit of a shake before we come on to the other side. So I want you to begin to bring the right foot now towards the inside of the legs and bring the left foot down, coming again into earth witness. You're going to bring the left hand now to the inside of that left foot. Right hand is going to rest on the heart, and again you're just going to release and lean forwards, taking that into your roots again as you send those roots down. And maybe you want to find crystals. So different crystals have different properties, and you would really have to start Googling and researching that yourself. Hematite is a good one for protection. That's for grounding and common sense. Black tourmaline, that's a really good one for protection. That also transmutes negative energy. Tiger's eye, beautiful crystal, very good for protection. It's also good for asthma, if I remember rightly. Black obsidian is a brilliant psychic protection. Citrine is another one that actually transmutes negative energy into positive energy. Selenite that cleanses and purifies. I have a selenite wand that I use at night time to, just like Michael with his sword, to cut any negative cords that I might have picked up during the day. Clear quartz, anything. You can use clear quartz for anything. Rose quartz for love, for healing. So feeling those roots grounding you down into the earth. So you can move around, but you are protected. You are wrapped around the crystals in Mother Earth. There is nothing that's gonna get you. But most important thing again is that intention. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to protect you. So take a deep breath in and exhale very slowly. Begin to release yourself from that and give yourselves a bit of a shake with the legs. So we're gonna come up now onto our hands and onto our knees. And I want you just to bring the knees directly underneath the hips and the feet, rest them onto the mat, and bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders. So we're just going to come into a few cat-cows. So drop the waist down, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, tucking the chin into the chest and stretching up and over the spine. So 2 more times, breathing in. Exhale, chin into the chest, and again stretching up and over the spine, and then breathing in. Exhale, chin into the chest and stretching back up and over the spine. And coming into neutral position. So we're going to come into a kneeling warrior. So I want you to get hold of the back of the right leg and step that right foot forwards. As you do that, you're going to slide the left foot slightly to the right side of the mat and adjust that right foot until you can come up into a standing, well, not standing position, kneeling position. So this is a kneeling warrior pose. So you would do the same things you do in a standing warrior pose, only you're a bit closer to the floor. It allows us to stay a bit more grounded and rooted. So again, check that you can see the big toe on that toe, and just check that you're turning the chest towards the left side of the mat. And then when you're ready, you're going to extend those arms out so the palms are facing down, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, taking that into as far as feels comfortable for you. And again, bring your awareness to the palms of the hands. And from the palms of the hands here, you are rooting yourself to the earth. You are taking the strength from the earth, because the earth has all of the strength within it that we need. And the earth will protect us as long as we are, as long as we honour the earth, as long as we show that we care for the earth and that we recycle and all of the things that we need to do. We need to show respect for the earth. So if you want to ask for protection from Mother Earth and Gaia, then you need to show her respect, kindness, love, compassion. Take a deep breath in, slowly exhale, bring those hands back round and ease that foot back. Come back onto the knees, and you may find that you need to do a few circles with that hip. That might there be quite strong in the hip. So coming onto the other side, back a bit towards the side, get hold of the left foot and step that left foot forwards. Again, adjust it until you feel as if you're comfortable here. Slide that right foot over towards the left a little bit, come up, and then when you're ready, you're going to gently ease into that hip again. You still need to make sure that you can see the inside of the ankle and the big toe. Left hand to the inside of the knee so you can turn the chest to face towards your right. And then when you're ready again, you're going to bring the arms out so the palms are facing down. And again, find that connection to the earth. Maybe even take it into Muladhara, the root chakra, by squeezing the pelvic floor muscles. That activates Muladhara and activates your root chakra, which of course is very much about you feeling safe and secure. So you can, when you're doing your protections, you can take your awareness into Muladhara. Muladhara is about your own security, about your own safety, and you feeling protected in your own life. Sending those roots down from the hands into the earth, drawing the protection up from the earth. Now and again, when you're ready, we move those arms back around, let that left leg go, back up onto your hands, onto your knees, and just a few circles again with that left knee. So as I was saying, it is nice to give our thanks to the earth. So we're going to finish with Anahata and coming into what is known as Danda Pranam, which is very much an offering, so to speak, to the earth. So for Anahata, knees directly underneath the hips, and I just want you, we're not going to be in it very long because I don't want us to take us into a backward bend too long. So walk those hands forwards. So you've got different options. Maybe you can take the chest right the way down and the head. Maybe you need to take it so the elbows are bent and just rest the forehead onto the forearms, and then allow the waist to drop down. Remember, the bum doesn't move forwards. If the bum moves forwards, there's going to be far too much pressure on the chest and on the back, and especially on the shoulders. So push the bum back so you can feel the bum is over the knees, even slightly behind the knees. It needs to be strong and comfortable there. Again, gentle breaths with the body. So there's so many of these different ways in which you can protect yourself. You can ask whatever your beliefs are. You can ask people if you believe in people who've passed. If you talk to people that you know who've died and who've moved on and you believe that feels right for you, you can ask them for protection. You can ask your own faith. You can ask angels. You can ask the earth. You can ask the elements. You can use the light that's around you. You can create barriers around you. You can ground yourself to the earth. You can take the protection from earth itself. The shower, encircling yourself with a shower like we did from Archangel Gabriel. And of course, using crystals. So the most important thing with this is that you set your intention, that you have to really trust and believe that that is what you're doing, that is there, that whatever you've manifested and created is there. I take a deep breath in. Exhale, start to draw the navel in towards the spine. And I want you very slowly now to start to walk those elbows forward. So this is where we're going to come down onto the front of the body, just into our very, very, very last pose. And I want you to bring the forehead down. And you're going to bring the elbows onto the floor and take the hands into a prayer position here above the head. We're only going to be here for a few seconds. But I want you there just to give thanks to the earth for that protection that we've just asked for. And also in your own mind, you can just, well, thank the earth for everything that she gives us, because let's face it, we wouldn't be here if we didn't have it, regardless of what your beliefs are. There is a Mother Nature, and we have to respect her and her elements, which is why it's good to use the elements air, water, earth, spirit, and fire. Natural things. Use the natural elements. And then very slowly begin to bring the hands back either side of the chest and gently ease yourself up onto your hands and onto your knees. Obviously, you've been in a backward bend. You need to just come into a few cats there to stretch that back out. Stretch into the back. Take a deep breath into neutral. Exhale again, straighten out into that back. And then breathing in and exhale. Then when you're ready, coming into a comfortable seated position before we come into Shavasana. So I did say that I was going to share with you part of the poem that I've written for myself that I do at night time. Now it does begin by calling in the four quarters, which is air, fire, and then the water, and then the earth. So I just want you to bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. I'm just going to share the middle bit with you. And it's very much about protecting your own identity. It's very much about protecting you and protecting everything that you believe in, as well as creating this protection. So I'm just going to share with you the middle bit. So I've got to try and remember what the middle bit is. So take a moment there, and I'm going to if you want, I want you to bring your index finger, because you're going to imagine, I say cast when I do this, but I'm going to share it with you by saying draw. So we're going to do this as a drawing thing. So take a deep breath in. Exhale fully through the mouth with the sigh. Now I know where east is, where I'm sitting, but you might not. So please don't worry if you don't know where east is. And I just realised I need to move myself. So I'm facing towards the east. Imagine you're pointing to the east. From east to west, bring the arm up and over the head. Touch behind you. From south to north, I draw an arc of light above. Point upstairs, point to the ceiling, and just do 3 circles above you. Below, point down, draw 3 circles. Within, point to yourself. Imagine drawing 3 circles. Without, again drawing 3 circles. Bring the hands into a prayer position. Protect me day and night. So I'll do that one more time, just so what you're going to do is you're going to draw an arc up and above you from one side to the other. You're going to then draw another arc up and above you from one side to the other. Then you're going to point to the ceiling, point to the floor, point to inside you, and point to outside. You can draw. You can imagine you're sending light there if you want. So one more time. From east to west. From south to north. I cast an arc of light above, below, within, without. Protect me day and night. Really simple, and it's something that you can say at any point. You can say it when you're leaving the house, and I literally have these arches over me that are protecting me wherever I go, and then I have the circles below me that are protecting me. I have the circles above me, I've got it inside me, and I've got it outside of me. So it's literally this whole thing that's coming around me. So it's time for Shavasana. So please bring yourself now into a comfortable position for Shavasana, and we're going to come back to Michael. So find a position that is right for you, and maybe you want to begin in your Shavasana in the pentacle position. And pentacle, of course, the feet are as wide as the mat, the arms are extended out to the side, and the feet and the hands actually represent the 4 elements. They represent fire and earth, which are the feet, air and water, which are the hands. And then the head represents spirit, or the ether. So your body itself is representing the elements. Of course, you probably notice I wear a pentagram, which again is the elements, is those 4 elements. The pentagram can be seen as a figure of a man, and each of the tips of the points are representing an element. Just allow yourself now to find that comfortable position. Let the whole of the body begin to relax. And I'm going to call on Archangel Michael to finish our Shavasana today. And what we're going to do in our Shavasana today is that we are actually going to use the symbols of Michael to help to protect us. So let the whole of the body just simply begin to soften and ease into the mat. Let the head soften and relax. Let the shoulders, the arms and the hands into the back and the hips. the legs, the calf muscles, the heels. And maybe even you want to imagine as you are lying down on your mat, maybe you want to imagine those roots coming from the body, and they are moving down into the earth, deep down into the earth, moving through the different layers of the soil and the rock, deeper and deeper into the earth, drawing energy from the earth to protect you, to keep you safe, to keep you well. Maybe again you can envision the roots going through those great caverns of water and pools beneath the earth. Maybe again you can imagine crystals. You can find a crystal and you can let those roots wrap themselves around a crystal, keeping you safe, keeping you strong, keeping you healthy, keeping you grounded to the earth. And I want you now just to let the body be completely still. You found your relaxation point. And I want you to set the intention. As I said, the intention is really important here. The intention is that we are calling on Archangel Michael from the south, the blue, royal blue light that surrounds him. We're going to ask him to protect us with his blue light and with his sword and with his shield. So I want you to begin with, to imagine at about 12 feet around you, at a distance of about 12 feet surrounding you, imagine a blue shield, a little like the one I described I'd created. A blue shield that is completely surrounding your aura. This is a protective blue light shield, bright blue. And this is only going to allow positive energy in. Anything negative is not going to get in at all. And it's going to allow positivity and kindness out, but it's also going to allow you to completely release anything negative from the body, and it'll not get in again. This is a temporary thing. This is only for today, this protection. So do remember that. So imagining this blue cocoon completely surrounding you. And feel with the breath, with each breath you take, drawing that energy up from the roots that you've got from the earth. And as you exhale, imagine that blue, bright blue light gets stronger and stronger with each exhalation. I want you to ask Archangel Michael now for his sword of gleaming blue light. And I want you to imagine now that sword, you're going to place one of the swords, an image of the sword, in front of your heart, point outwards. So you've got one sword in front of you, point outwards in front of your heart. Now replicate it behind you. Again, a sword, point outwards at the back of your heart. So you're protecting both the front and the back of the heart. Now take a sword again, either side. So to the left of your heart, to the right of your heart. Again, the points are facing outwards. Now underneath your feet, you're going to have a sword again, point downwards into the earth, and then another sword above the head, point upwards. So when you stand up, it's pointing upwards is what I mean. It's pointing away from the feet, and it's pointing upwards away from the head. And now I want you to take that sword. I take another sword, and I want you to place the sword this time inside of the body. Point upwards, as if you can grab hold of it any second that you need it. And it's running in line with your spine. So you have a sword within you, without you at each point, at each quarter, going around the heart. You have one below the feet, you have one above the head. You have taken Archangel Michael's swords and you've completely surrounded yourself with his swords. So his cloak of blue flame has protected you in a circle and a cocoon around you at 12 feet. You now have his sword within you and without you. And that sword that's within you, anything feels as if it's coming near you, anything negative, any kind of cord or thought or emotion that's trying to make its way in to you from the outside, from somebody else, take that sword that's inside you, grab it and use it to cut the cord that's just tried to connect itself to you. Then put the sword back inside you. So the cord is there for your use. You can grab it, you can use it. And now we ask Archangel Michael for his shield. So between your outer layer of blue protection of his cloak and your swords that are outside of the body, I want you now to place his shield in front of the sword that's in front of your body. So the sword in front of you, place the shield beyond it, but within the blue light. And now again, place a shield in front of the sword that's behind you. Again, either side of the swords to your side, a shield above the sword over your head, a shield below the sword underneath your feet. So you have now 6 shields, 4 around you, 1 above, 1 below, beyond the swords, but within the blue cloak. Now what I want you to do is start to replicate the shields. Replicate the shields and imagine there are many, many shields starting to surround you in line within the blue circle of light, and they're going to interlock with each other. So they're almost like scales of a fish, completely surrounding you and the swords that you've got around you, but they're within the blue circle of light. So you have a triple layer now. You have Michael's sword within you and without you. The one within you is for you to cut cords with. Beyond that, you have Michael's shield. Beyond that, you have Michael's cloak of blue light. You call Michael from the south, bright cloak of royal blue. Protect me with your sword and shield, so I may be in you. So I want you now just to allow yourself to set the intention that that shield is there for today. And of course, you can call on Archangel Michael anytime you want. And you can use this simple practice of the swords, shields, and the cloak of blue light. But before we begin to move from Shavasana, I want you to say just a thank you to all of the practices that we've used today for protection. From asking the Archangels, from Gabriel with the waterfall of light, from Michael from his sword and from his shield, from Gaia that we use the roots going down into the earth and using her crystals. There are always ways to protect yourself, so do use them. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully through the mouth with a sigh. And then when you're ready, gently begin to do whatever it feels right for you to come back into your body. Maybe you need to hug the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up into a comfortable seated position. And just bring the hands back into a prayer position and slightly drop the head. So protecting yourself on a spiritual, on a psychic, on an energetic level is important. And to do so with your house as well. Your house can become your haven. Your car can become your haven. I have also made a charm to go on my car alongside a protective charm for the car, by keeping me safe in the car and creating a barrier around the car. So it is something that you can start to think of and work on, and the intention itself affects the brain and will then affect how the physical body and the chakras and the energy centers and your endocrine system will work, because your body will know that it's being protected. Slightly drop your head and namaste, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.